Folded is a storytelling platform to dedicate making an impact. Donations supporting cancer-related initiatives are made to JJ's World. This is a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. We are proud to collaborate awareness and sponsorship relationships with the Paula Tatic Foundation for Sarcoma Research, supporting efforts to increase awareness, advocate for patients, and advance conversations surrounding sarcoma research, specifically going into Ewing sarcoma clinical trials. We are also honored to have a community partnership with the Atrium Health Foundation, helping amplify the importance of cancer research, innovation, and resources for patients and families. Through these partnerships, a portion of donations raised through Courage Unfolded will support efforts focused on advancing sarcoma research, clinical trials, helping contribute the development of better treatment options and hope for patients facing those rare cancers. Every story shared on Courage Unfolded has a purpose to educate and connect communities, support research, and remind people that no one should face cancer alone. Choosing truth before fear begs you to retreat. Welcome to the Courage family. Sandy, hi.
Oh my.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for such a beautiful intro, Katrina. And I can keep on gushing, but I love so much what you're building, and it's just so beautiful from your heart. And thank you for having me, and I can't wait to just
Thank you for
share.
being
Thank
here.
you. I'm excited too. I told you before we recorded, it feels like a Friday. Is it the weekend? I feel so. Let's do this.
I know, right?
Let's celebrate.
Let's do it. I'm so I need to come to LA and celebrate.
Yes.
I'm like, I need to take a trip.
Yes, please do. We
Yes.
will definitely connect then.
Yeah, we need to. We really do. Of course, yes, thank you for being here. And yes, so everyone knows Sandy here. I have it here. I'm going to just grab it. Cancer
We have to do our
Ramblings.
little show.
Yay!
Hi. I'm
Yay!
so proud the book is in your hands.
It's been a great book. I was very honored to read it. It made me cry. It made me think about, my brother. It made me as well look at his cancer very differently. I'm really happy for this book, actually. You are right. You can, by the way, guys, you do not need to have cancer to read this
Thank
book.
you.
There is so much you can relate to, Sandy, in this book, cancer or not. And so you're a true blessing. And looking into this, conversation, just going to discover Cancer Ramblings, but really also talking about, who you were before and who you are after, and who you are as, that survivor. And so in the early part of your book, you describe finding, by the way, guys, sorry, Sandy is a stage 4 non-Hodgkin
You got it.
lymphoma survivor. I want you to go ahead and take the floor on that. I know that in the early part of your book, you really do describe finding the mass on the left side of your chest.
Yes.
And so in that condition of, your left lung, can you just really take us back in that moment?
Yes.
How you found, your cancer, how you not found your cancer,
Yeah.
sorry, how you got diagnosed and when you found your diagnosis.
Yeah.
Just take us all the
I
way back.
completely understand. First, I want to start off, Katrina, by saying don't neglect a cough. If you're coughing, and it's not, I'm not a very paranoid person when it comes to my health. I'm not a hypochondriac at all. But I did let the cough go a little bit longer because I thought, maybe it's just a light bronchitis. Maybe it's a little pneumonia. Maybe it's a little bit of allergies, right? Until that cough really turned into something really bad. So I started coughing in like November 2023. Gosh, I'm trying to think.
Oh, wow.
2023, 20, yeah, my God, it's like a blur.
So, like, yeah,
And
3 years ago?
yeah, about
Yep.
2023, the end of
Wow.
the year, and it wouldn't go away. And I just thought, okay, maybe a doctor gave me some prescription for pneumonia or bronchitis. It kind of helped it, but it still didn't go away until the point that New Year came, February came, 2020. Yeah, 2024. And then it was just like the decline. My body was literally declining. I could barely drive my car. The body was breaking down. I thought, there's something messed up here. My lungs are messed up.
Yeah, this is not a cough
Not, it
anymore.
was like a cough beyond. I'm like, I need to go get this checked out. Fast forward, I get an MRI. My primary care doctor calls me and says, they want to see you again. I thought, okay. I go get another MRI. That's in March 2024. And she goes, I get this call, and I always say it, it's that voice like in the movies where you know it's bad news. And she says,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to go to the hospital right now. And I thought, what? So, okay. I go to the hospital that night. I tell one of my besties, can you meet me there? It was like around 8, 9 p.m. I thought I'd be in and out still. I thought, wow, my lungs are messed up. Guess what? I never left. I never left. That was the beginning of 2 weeks of this insane blitz. I've never been sick. I've never been in the hospital, Katrina. I've never had to do any of these procedures. And there I am, 2 weeks of everything, eyes wide open, biopsies, spinal taps, scans. It was insane until 2 weeks later, after all of that invasive insanity, they discover and tell me you have stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it started with a
Wow.
cough, and that's why I just want to tell people, don't be scared. Don't every time you have a cough think, oh, it doesn't mean it's cancer. But the body communicates in ways beyond language. The body communicates in signs and symbols and stuff, you know? So who
Yeah.
knows what would have happened if I would have gone earlier, 3, 4 months earlier, who knows? But that's what happened. So the tumor was a 10 by 15. I believe it collapsed my left lung. So my left lung was gone. And that's why the coughing. And I thought, yeah, that's what happened.
Wow, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That is just, that's just
Yeah.
terrible. I mean, being you just that own advocate, your own health of your own advocate, and it just, wow. So it just completely, I know that you had you did a mastectomy.
No,
I know
no, I had,
you
no,
did.
no. Luckily, I didn't need any surgery. What I did have was a chest tube.
Oh,
Yes, you
you
probably
did.
remember.
Okay.
I had this chest tube for over God about 2 weeks because as I was dealing with cancer and oncology and starting chemotherapy, I had to resuscitate. I had to get back my
That's
lung, and many people on my team said it's okay. Many people live with one lung, and I didn't accept it for a minute.
yeah,
I didn't,
no.
and then with my mind, I swear to you, I willed my lung back. I got my lung back.
Wow. So I read that. So in the beginning, I read that you had a
Yeah,
conversation with your right
yeah,
lung, and you were like, right lung, we're going to go ahead and we're going to
yes,
literally give the left lung. And you said that was it your nostril?
yes, yeah,
Or so yeah, don't quote me on it. But I remember reading in the book, and you were like, I felt like this breath in my like nostril that I haven't really felt in so long, and that was like your sign.
yes,
And so I read that, and I was just like, this is my kind of person, because you you take every good sign and you're turning it,
yes.
and it's so powerful, Sandy. And I've walked in that. I mean, that's been my whole life is, turning that pain and that bad, as people would say, into something, into signs and goodness. And I'm not saying it was all good and
Totally.
rainbows,
I
but
feel you.
you going, okay, maybe I didn't feel something in my left lung, but like I felt something that I haven't felt in a long time, and that was good enough for me. And that reading that was like, sometimes our brains can be so bottled and so fogged up, and yours in that moment at least wasn't.
Yes,
And you got to see the sign, and that gave you that, in that sense, hope, as I read in the
yes.
book. So what do you remember, like, emotionally, from that time before everything really became treatment and routine and right, like you found that out. 2 weeks went by. I mean, what a crazy 2 weeks for you. I'm terribly, just utterly, my heart goes out
Thank
to you,
you.
Sandy, and what you had to go through, and what a horrible way of finding out that you had cancer, for one. And so just my heart to that
Thank
as
you.
well. And also to, I mean, give yourself grace. I know you probably, do it all the time, of the what ifs, like what if I would have went back, and what if I would have done it 3 months sooner, and unfortunately it wasn't supposed to work out that way, and
Mm.
that wasn't, the plan. And whether not, to get religious or universe or God or whatever you want to name it, this was that plan for you, and you stood it and you held it, and that alone is very powerful.
Mm.
It really is. It's very, very powerful. It's beaming, Sandy. It makes me want to just, get up and go and like fight. Yeah. So during all of that, everything, became a treatment and a routine. So what do you remember so emotionally from that time,
Mm.
before everything became that?
Oh, well, I know that in that 2 weeks, before I even got the reveal that it was cancer, I still didn't believe it could be cancer. I thought it could be some benign growth or something like that. I really did not give in to that title. And when they gave me the diagnosis, all I remember is there was my life before, so the not knowing. And then there was the life of knowing, and then having to be the CEO of my health and being the captain of this ship. And how am I going to direct myself through this hell or through this heaven? It could be a really combination of both if you choose to see it that way. And so as soon as I got the diagnosis, it's like something switched. I gave myself literally, I remember, 24 hours. And it was a very private time, I'll say. A lot of people, I have some friends, cancer survivors, that when they were going through it, their whole journey was documented, Instagram, you name it. And that's wonderful. But for
Wow.
me, I was so private. I only started to share afterwards, because it was such a journey that required my attention and dedication, and also I needed that cave, that cocoon, all to myself, to harness the energy. But I remember when I got that diagnosis, it was 24 hours. I wondered why. I let people ask me why. I literally had nurses going, but how, you do yoga and you're so healthy. My friends, they're like, you're the healthiest of the bunch. Like, you name it, I do it. I really am into self-care. I love it. It supports everything in your life. And for me to be given this diagnosis, until honestly after 24 hours, I told everybody, including myself, there's no more why. Nobody's allowed to ask why. Nobody needs to wonder. Nobody needs any of that, because guess what? We're moving on to healing, and I'm getting out of here. And so when my oncology team came in, and it was like 6 people around me, plus pulmonology, it was just a whole team. And they're trying to give me all this information. I don't want to know all the information. I was pretty ignorant kind of throughout it all, because my macro vision was working with the divine and working with myself and my mind to get through it.
You were all about yourself, all about me, me, me.
Totally.
Yeah, and which is, unfortunately, with cancer, you have to be.
Yes.
And I think that gets so misinterpreted, right? Like people start freaking out, like, oh my God, I have cancer. My whole, like, yes, your life is about to be completely different, but I know it's not the same for everyone, unfortunately. But focusing on yourself and your mental and what you're eating and everything through this journey is so important. Not necessarily everything else that comes in life, I guess.
Yes.
Parties and whatever you really want to name it. I don't know what, to people's lives are, but being your biggest health advocate is so, so important during this experience. And I noticed that you said something, Sandy, and I've just noticed a lot of people saying
Mm-hmm.
this in every episode, and cancer doesn't come because someone is healthy. And
Mm.
I think that I'm starting to learn that as well myself. Is It's a hard one to wrap our brains
Yeah.
around, because I think evolution, change, cancer's been around for years, millions of years at this point, and I think it's gotten so miscombottled and here, and people think like I was so healthy, why did this
Mm.
happen, or how did I get this? That's not what cancer is. And I know that you know that in the sense is, I forget it sometimes, is like, my brother was healthy, these things, but really it was just because two chromosomes switched. There was nothing you can do, nothing to hold it back. It was just those chromosomes switched, and the cancer comes. And yes, I think being healthy in your life can help you um, all around, not
Yes.
necessarily, all around. And so I really, again, I'm hearing you, but I want you to give yourself grace on who you were, who Sandy was before, and know that this cancer didn't come because you weren't healthy or you weren't doing something right. It's, kind of what you've been writing in your book. Why not you?
Yes.
And it's, why not me? And so you've lived that, and that's just so beautiful to see you walking in that. Sorry, I rambled. Go
No,
on.
I
My
love your
bad.
ramble. Are you kidding me? And it really ties in, Katrina. You know, this is such a beautiful free flow conversation. But I'll circle it back. Like when the oncology team came in wanting to give me all these details and stuff, I was like, listen, I don't need to know the B to the Y. It's far beyond my brain. I go, all I know is A and Z. A, this is the diagnosis, and Z, I'm walking out of here. And I said, you guys are the fine minds, UCLA, beautiful fine minds. I was around one of the best hospitals here in Los Angeles. I said, you guys do the
Yep.
work on the details,
UCLA.
and I'll guide us through with the fairy dust. You know what I mean? And so really, and it's like you said, giving yourself grace and not wondering, what did I do wrong? What did I? Life happens to all of us, and you know what? It doesn't mean stop being healthy because cancer can happen to anyone. Because of my healthiness, because of the way I took care of my body and my life, I was able to be a true a true fighter against this thing. So I was able to
Yeah.
meet my opponent and my dear friend. The reason I call dear friend cancer, and this is not in a toxic positivity way, because, one of my dear friends, her father died of my cancer. Cancer is an ugly disease. And I mean,
You were telling me
your
that. Yep.
brother, let's be real, there's a lot of nasty ugliness in cancer, but it's how we choose to dance with cancer that makes all the difference. What is our
Yeah. No,
choice?
it is. Yeah, and you're right, and it is your choice. And I said it actually. I love that you brought that up because I say it all the time. You've got to do the treatment. That's without a doubt. It's an illness. It's a sickness. It's a disease at this point. Not at this point. I'm sorry. It's always been. And so there's more to it though that people don't see. And like you're saying, it's being that healthy, being that mental, and it's not just treatment. Just to piggyback kind of what you were saying. And so to really bring this in and to pivot, how did your relationship with your body
Mm,
shift? In those first moments, I mean, left inside like your treatment. So from your book, so everyone knows, in Rambling 26, 40, and 58, you write actually in Rambling 58 that cancer is a full-time job.
yes.
It's a full-time job. I mean, let's let's pivot back here. How did those relationships in your body shift in those first moments? Let's start with that question.
Gosh, you're so
Yes.
good on reminding me about my book. Huh? Yes, cancer is a full time job, but the shift. I've always had a lot of self care and self love. We all go through pockets where sometimes we give a little bit of ourselves too much to other people, and we have to harness it
Mm.
back and bring it back. And one thing that I learned so much is never again. I'm always going to really extra stand up and be there for myself on all levels. And one thing that I appreciate from this journey was every time I saw my beating heart on the monitor, I got into tears because I thought, there is that beating heart beating through the chemo, beating through the cancer that's in there, this junk that's in her space, beating nonstop for me. So every time I saw that heart, I saw it like a friend. Until this day, I thank my body, I thank my heart. It makes me emotional still because
No, I know, like you're gonna make me
it's
cry.
our sacred temple, Katrina.
It
We are the
is.
spirit, we are the person, the voice, the life. But then we have this. We've been gifted with this beautiful shell, and so it's thank you, heart, for beating through all that mess. So it's really deepened so much how I show up for myself, even more. I check in once a day now to always check. I always check in now. How is the tension in my body? How relaxed am I today? That's a part of my job. And everything I do is how relaxed am I? Because the more relaxed you are, the more healthier your body and the more able you are to receive in your dreams. So I check in with my heart. Where's that tension? What do I have to do for you, body? So just like you
Yeah.
show up for somebody in your life, your lover, your partner, your passion, your work, how do you show up for your own self?
Your own
So,
self. Yeah.
and then you asked me,
Yeah.
you brought a really nice quote in for cancer is a full-time job. I wrote that one.
Yeah, you did. I was yeah, so with your cancer rambling on 58, cancer is a full-time job. What did you like what did your actual day-to-day life feel like? And so there was something that you said and you were like, it took me like an hour to eat my breakfast.
Yes.
So yeah, go on with that. Like cancer is I don't think people understand that. Like again, cancer has been so perceived into the sense where they think it really is death. I keep repeating it, and you're going to hear it on every episode. It's people really believe that cancer is just death, and it's
Mm-hmm.
cancer is something that can kill you. Yes, it's something that can. It's unfortunate, just like the flu, just like other things that can really take your life. Cancer is not the flu. Don't quote me on that, guys. I'm just
I
it can something else that can take your life. It's a disease. It's a sickness, and people really don't understand that and what you have to go through day to day. I mean, like you said, you were healthy, you were award-winning actress, you're moving through life, you were doing it, and not saying that you were not doing it now because you're still doing it. I mean, you're flourishing and it's so beautiful, Sandy. It's
thank
admiring.
you.
You made me just want to open up to you in so many ways that it feels light, it feels warmth. And so just you have a really good spirit.
Thank you.
Truly. And so I'm gonna like end up crying on this, I feel like. Let me you go. I ramble. Like I feel like your book, I'm like, I love this because I'm a rambler.
Hey, rambling is good. I'm a rambler too, and everything you say is so beautiful. And whatever you see in me is a reflection of you. You know, it really
No.
is. And in life, we start to look around and look at the mirrors. You know, and so and I see that and in you, and so. Thank you for that. And the full time job thing, I love that you brought that up because I wrote that particular rambling when I got annoyed. People would ask me, I would ask me these questions like, oh, so how are you, what are you doing with your days? Or how are you feeling but in a way like expecting me to be doing stuff like, I'm battling stage 4 cancer. My whole life is
Yeah.
effed. I lost my hair. I'm weak. It takes me an hour to chew my breakfast. I have terrible chemo mouth. You know, I have to move my body. I have to rest. Sometimes I'm at the mercy of the drugs and my decline. It was literally a huge decline. And so when somebody once asked me that, like, what do you expect me to answer? Oh, I went to the movies and I went to work. Like, what is that?
Right.
It was
I'm running marathons
it
over
was just
here.
it was the
Like,
way
yeah,
it was asked that question that I was like, I gotta write this, I'm gonna write something here. And it was really to
yeah,
make the proclamation that cancer is my full-time job. What else do you expect a stage 4 cancer a goer to be going through, you know? And so
yeah.
it's to show you, as you said, it's all encompassing. If you want to get out of this alive, your health, your walks, your rest, you're going to the hospital for your check-ins, you're being in the hospital for over a week, in my case, with treatment. It was all the things, Katrina, that it took up all my time. And then on the side, or not on the side, but while I had the gaps, lots of time still, I was writing. I was battling my mind. I was going to temple to pray. So that's I meant that very much for people to understand that cancer's a full-time job in getting through it alone. So give yourself grace that maybe you're not doing the things that the hustle culture expects you to do, because this is your
Mm,
hustle now
I like
to
that.
stay
Yeah.
alive.
No, it is. You're right. And I like that. And the reason I added this in here, Sandy, to be very transparent with you and everyone,
Yes.
watching, is because, it goes back to, really why I started Courage Unfolded is those gaps, part of it. There's multiple reasons why I started Courage Unfolded. That brings it all into one whole, but it's because really people don't understand it. And it is a full-time job. And so when I was reading that, I'm like, man, like she's right. And you just keep going and I keep reading it and I finish and I go to the next, ramble and I'm just like, I feel like I learned something about cancer today. Like she is so right. And so I added that in there so that, everyone can like understand that it's not just treatment. It is your mind. And it's not just your mind as well. Man, it took me an hour to eat today. My life alone on that change. Everyone walking through life and, they're walking and eating. I no longer can do that. I have to literally input a time management for my body to get nutrition. And it's like, that is crazy as a human. We're naturally supposed to eat. We're naturally supposed to, that's what the universe created, God, whatever you want to, put out there. And so even as something as simple as eating breakfast and just like, again, took an hour. And how did that slow down the version of your life that impacted you emotionally?
You know what was amazing is that so much still got done in the slow. It blows
Love
my
it.
mind. And now I have a different pace. I get so much done. I'm still pretty type A in going after the things that I want to achieve and believe and dream. But there's not that sense of speed. There's so much. I look back and I'm like, wow. You didn't lose anything because you were in the speed of things. You were in the quality of things. And so it's a different temperament now, and I feel like I get so much done with so much more relaxed vibe. I'm just a little bit more. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just in a different flow. And yet,
And that's okay. And sometimes you don't need
yeah,
to explain
it's
it.
yeah.
Sometimes it's for you to know and for yourself, and that's okay. And that's enough. The fact that you're just sharing the feeling or the experience is enough. So thank you. And so now I'm gonna really, keep going through in your rambles that I love. Piggybacking off of that, in Rambling 26, you talk about, I love your names, by the way.
Thank you.
Garden. We're gonna get into it. Garden, all of it. You really are. You're just like someone I would look up to. I don't even know you. I look up to you. Just the way you look at life is what I look up to. Again, like I said in the beginning, you do not. Of course, I can relate a lot to my brother and my experience, but some things I really took, and I took it for my own life, and I'm just grateful that I could do that, and I could understand. And we're gonna get into that. So sorry, I ramble, guys.
Hey, this is
In
the
Rambling
theme. We're
26,
supposed to ramble. It's in honor of the book and the experience. It's so
yes,
perfect.
it is. I love it.
Seriously.
So no, really, it is. So I just love it. Your energy, Sandy. You're awesome. You're just awesome. So you talk about a date with your pet scan, and by the way, she quotes, it's a PET scan, by the way, but she calls, pet. How did your humor show up for you during something so heavy? You got a lot of humor. You can see it in your book. You can feel it here. You got humor, you got energy, you got light. So yeah, how did that humor show up during it?
Humor is everything. Humor is everything. I always say this. I had a choice, Katrina. There's a door over there. So whether that door is locked or unlocked, it's my choice how I'm going to get to that door. I can either walk, shoulders back, smile, have some joy, or I can drag my knees across the concrete, bleeding and in pain, and then I get there and whatever. So it's a choice whether I lived or died, whether that door opened or not, if we're speaking, in poetic terms. What is the way, how are we going to choose life? And so the humor kept it light. Some moments were just so funny and endearing and sweet. It like any adversary, how can we find the sweetness in it? Any challenge.
Yeah.
I swear to you, I don't know if this is answering your question, but I look back and I never talk bad about my cancer. Some people, oh damn, cancer. I say thank you, God. I literally, maybe every other day, once a day, thank you, God, for my friend cancer. Cancer gave me so much. She was the teacher of pain and transformation. She was showing me what I was made of. She was showing me how much love, capacity do I have for love. Even through the
Wow.
dark. How would I know who I am through the dark, ugly parts if I wasn't faced with her harsh ways? So I thank her so much. Do I want to see her again? No, it was time to part. I always say, see you later,
Yeah.
my friend. But thank
Yeah.
you.
It was a good time, but thank you for teaching me everything you
Yeah,
taught me.
it's
Yes.
it's necessary in life. Some of our
It
hardships.
is. It is. And I give you so much gratitude. There's a rambling in here that you just I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, and I love, I love, I love. I mean, literally the whole page says I love you, I love you, I love you. And Sandy, I really come from hardship, like drug addicts to growing up really fast to trying to figure out where you're gonna live, how you're gonna eat. I mean, to all of it. And so I think that's where I can relate in my own feeling of that aloneness and really having to sit within yourself, and the love and going, I gotta love myself. I'm going to get through this. And like any other, cancer, my not that my brother didn't love himself. Again, there's a whole other side. But just speaking on this is you really, really have to, and that's hard. That is hard, especially when you're sitting there in those moments, your deepest, darkest moments, because unfortunately, when you get diagnosed with cancer, you go through that, and it's something that I can never relate to, because I've never had cancer, but I can relate to a sense of having deep, dark
Hmm.
moments and having to really look at myself and going, I love myself. And so it's really hard. And so when I tell you I admired your book and I admire you, um, because listening to your story and reading your story, if you did it, why can't I? Why not me?
Hmm.
Um, and that's what you did for me. And so yeah, I want to say thank you. Thank you for just your small rambles to your big rambles to the I love myself rambles. And you're right. Like you are 100% right in your inner mind, the darkness and where your mind goes. It's powerful. It can go to deep, deep places. And I think surviving cancer comes with getting out of those deep, dark
Mm.
places. I do. I'm a very big, and people can agree, disagree. This is my own opinion. Please, everyone, take it with a grain of salt on that one. This is, only Katrina's opinion. I do think that you have to get your mental out. You have to go on walks. You have to do what feels normal to who you were before, who Sandy was before. Um, Cancer is only going to change you to become stronger. It shouldn't change you completely and who you were as a person. Um, it should make you realize who you are deeper within yourself, as a person, I think is what cancer teaches people. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Sorry.
and I
Um,
love and to interject there, I love everything you shared here about your personal story. and
yeah.
and I'm going to say this, Katrina, and I say it a lot, that there's cancer of the body and then there's cancer of the mind. And if I had to pick which one was hardest, I got to tell you, it was the cancer of the mind. Battling the
Yeah.
mind, the dark. I will never forget how scary to actually observe and notice your own mind slipping into that dark place that wants to take you. It's
Yeah.
terrible. And I connect it back to you and what you said, that though you didn't have cancer, you had your own very hard experiences. To me, and that's why the book has been touching a lot of people beyond cancer, because the book speaks to hardships beyond that. Because for me,
Yeah, it
for me,
does.
your hardships and my hardship of cancer, they're same but different, but yet the same. They all involve having to have the tenacity and the strength of faith, of courage, of mindset
Yeah.
to get through it. So, and then guess what? The light shines through it if you allow it. And I really see it in you, the way you're light and you're so radiant and beautiful on camera. I know I told you off camera that the camera loves you.
Thank you.
And it's really because it's beyond the physical, it's also the light inside of you. And why? You turned your
Thank you.
your situation and your life past into not something to disdain, but to go, wow, thank you, I saw you. But now look at
Yep.
me. I love more.
Yep.
And that's why I wrote that page. And it's really evolved into something in my life as a mantra, love on repeat. Through those dark, scary, terrible times, Katrina, I swear to you, whether I was at home in the middle of the night or in the hospital, I would just repeat love as a chant, love on repeat. And it would help get me out of that dark that was trying to pull me. It's very hard to explain.
Mm.
It's a real thing, that dark space. And that was a savior for me. And so it's a practice for all your viewers and listeners. If you're in a dark space, just try repeating love until, like a mantra, love, love. It's an internal dialogue, though you can see it outside like a champion. Love, love, love. Until you're so in the web of love that it melts away bit by bit every single time, that dark hand that's trying to take you. And now, guess what, Katrina? When I see a little flare up of that dark, because it's always there, the friend is always there.
Yeah, always there.
Before I
Yeah.
would cower, now I look at it and I say, what do you need today? Now I'm not afraid. Now you get back in the back seat. I see you, fear. I love you, but you're not in the front seat anymore.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
not. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that, and that's so inspiring because you need that. It takes your power back. You know what I mean? Like it takes that something that's supposed to right take something for you, and you're sitting there and you're like, "No, I'm taking my power back today." And that right there is so empowering and so funny you say that. And I'm going to quote someone that I did an interview with, Gabby Cooper, Gertrude. She this will always stay with me and this will stay with me the rest of my life. She Same thing. Gertrude is her anxiety attack. It's like a FU in a sense. Like, no, like you do not get to come back into the fact that you, Sandy, are looking at it as well and going, no, like this is not going to happen. And you're creeping up. I see you. But a lot of people, that fear is what takes over. And so Courage Unfolded's huge slogan is choosing truth before fear begs you to retreat.
Yes.
It's so, so, so true because the what ifs in our mind, it will take over. And so I'm gonna pivot again, my bad. Within that and leaving that kind of at that, I'm just this is a very nice
Yes.
conversation. And I think that a lot of people, that are watching and are gonna resonate with this. And I hope that if people that are survivors and they're struggling with fear, please, we're not doctors, I'm not a doctor, but please, like, try to do what Sandy's doing and look that in the face and say no and take that power back and see how that works for you. Not everyone's the same. And I'm sure, people can agree with that, but let's try it. I mean, I'm gonna try it when my fear creeps up. You've really reminded me, you and Gabby and Hannah and all of these people that I've talked to have just really reminded me, like, I'm gonna look my fear and go, no. And like, I have that power, and you're right. And it's that either A, whatever I've been through, or that survivor's guilt of, watching my brother pass away and going, I can do this. Whether it's for myself, him, you, all of it. I mean, my empathy and my grace, my heart is so big, I can't even put it in one place. It's so, it's hard. It's hard. Ah, I don't think he'll be mad if I quote him. Matthew Zachary is has a healthcare podcast out here in New York, and I did an intro call with him, and something that he said to me that will always speak to me, and I have to remember is, you're gonna start this, Katrina, and I'm hearing you and I'm listening to you. You have to know that that one conversation was enough. That it's enough because you can't help everyone in the sense, and that could take your mind. And I have so much of this, like, want to help and so much love and so much empathy and grace because of, yes, what I've been through, on top of, yeah, watching the most thing that I loved my entire life get taken away, and be gone. And so to take all of that, and I have so much of it and I want to put it out in the world, and I just have to remind myself of that fear to not let it take over, that I am doing enough. And kind of goes back to you and all of people that are battling cancer or have lost someone, whether you're a parent, sibling, cousin, whatever it is, doctors, knowing that what we're doing is enough, knowing that what you're doing, Sandy, is enough, and what the doctors are doing are enough. And that's what got you here. And I think that could be really hard. Like you said, the mind, the mental. And anyway, I'm proud of you.
Thank
I'm
you.
so proud of
Thank you.
you. I do want to get a little bit into your scan. What were your scan days like for you emotionally? You talked about a little bit in here, like, oh, my scan days are coming up. And so, yeah, what were those like? I mean, kind of back into the fear, I'm kind of pivoting off of that. Did you have fear going into those scans?
No,
How was
no,
that for
and
you?
it's a real thing. I mean, a lot of publications and people talk about scan anxiety. For me, I never did. I was excited because I just knew, I knew in my heart of hearts I'm doing good, and I knew what I was doing to support my body in my off time to help with nutrition and all that. But also every time, and even up till my recent one, and now I'm on observation for a little bit, not needing so many scans. I'm pretty good in remission. But every time I'd go in, I was excited because it shows everything, and I thought, man, if I have even a little lump on, it's the scans are showing you everything. So it's like I'm super
Yeah.
cleared here. So I'm so fine. And when people ask me, what if
Yay.
you found something? Like then I find it. Like what are we stressing about? A lot of times in our life, stress is really a number one killer in life. I think more than a lot of diseases, stress is quite a disease itself. And so why stress
Oh, yeah.
beforehand? Before just expect the best, and then you'll deal with it,
Yeah.
right? Think
Yeah.
think
No, I
think about
agree.
it like this. Now when life gives me something, a little challenge, a little something, right? Think about it like, well, you know what I do? I come back to logic and memory and I go, wow, I beat stage 4 cancer. This is a joke.
There you
This
go.
is a joke. If it's a person, if it's a situation, if it's a challenge, I look and I'm like, really?
There you
And
go.
in your case, look at how
Yep.
much you've gone through. So, and your viewers, let's say, look back at a tough time that you overcame, and through that reflection and logic, it's able to take whatever it is that you're anxious about and put it on its lowest shelf. To be like,
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, you couldn't have said it any more
thank
beautifully.
you.
And you're right. You're really right. I mean, we could just take that and quote it, quoted by Sandy. Would be awesome. And so, you know, off of what you said, I'm going to give you a date now. And so I know that there was June 17th of 2024, your grand reveal.
Yes.
How was that? What was that moment like when you received that? I'm gonna call it a pet because I like that he calls it a pet scan. Um, or I'm reading it wrong.
No?
I have no
Yeah, it's a
idea.
PET
I'm
scan.
reading it
Yeah, you're
right.
reading it
Okay,
right. But
pet
I called
scan.
it my pet, but it's a PET scan. I thought it's my little
Yeah,
pet. Let's go see
I
what
love
this is
it.
about,
Yes.
a little play on words. It was awesome because it was the beginning of many more scans to come as I
Mm,
furthered myself away from cancer, you know? So
yeah. Yeah.
it was so incredible to see the light, and to know that it would be all right. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I really, really remember. And then there was another scan that came in, I think September, and I'll never forget it because my sister had flown in from Canada to spend a long weekend with me here, and I just got the news even more cleared, whatever, several months later. And so um, the scans are a gift. It's a joy. Fear it
Yeah.
not, And the way I think about it is look at how much you've overcome. Look at your life and just ask, can't I overcome again? What's there to fear,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you could have said so beautiful. And you're right. Like, saying what you said a few, minutes ago is what anyone's been through. It's what the outcome
Yes.
is. What are you doing with it? And so that's so powerful. It's so big and it's not easy, but the fact that you did it, it's just, you're right. How to walk into those scans again, it's taking back that power that I get to know now what my body looks like.
Yes.
Not like the other way around of, oh, am I going to find something? It's like now I get to know, now I get to be my for real, all the way own health advocate, continuing and growing and so beautiful. So beautiful. So even so what was the moment like when you received those PET scans that you were clear? Like, how was I mean, I could only imagine those emotions.
I remember the first clearing on the date that you said, and I was actually going to take a yoga class, and I was just glowing. I felt 10 pounds lighter. It felt like something was released off my shoulders. It's an
Yeah.
unexpected, unbelievable feeling of knowing that, wow. And till this day, I thank my body and I thank the divine for giving me more borrowed time. It's really an amalgamation of medicine and mystical. I don't know where I would be, Katrina, without faith in God, universe, life, the birds, spiritual gurus long past, and dancing in that energy of knowing I have to be here a little longer, that there's something I
Yeah.
have to do with this experience. And I love how you turned the loss, tragically, of your brother into something, because I say this to my doctors midway through as I was writing a lot, and they were seeing me writing and doing stuff. I said, if I can't make sense of the nonsense that is cancer, just give me a bullet and a gun. I hate to say it, and my doctor just looked at me. I'm like, really? We have to find that kernel of hope, that kernel of something. Or else, guess what? The absurdity of going through this illness is just ridiculous. So, what is our purpose daily, cancer or not? What is it that's shaping your life? We're all living to die somehow. It's what we do with that journey.
No, you're really right. I was gonna end it on one of those rambles that you said.
We're in sync.
He's so you have no idea. It's so funny. We're not ending it yet, guys, but that is what I will be pivoting back to, that right there, what you just said. You're so perfect, Sandy. You are so perfect. So even though, okay, so yeah, so by the way, hold on. I don't want to just pivot just yet. You are literally like my idol right
Oh,
now.
you're too sweet.
I literally walk in faith. Sandy, I didn't have faith, I would not be here. I just would not be here. There's no chance. God, universe, I'm so grateful that I could even be here. I mean, I'm a walking epiphany of, like, I'm supposed to be a drug addict. I'm supposed to be 16 and pregnant, supposed to be, and where my, life has been, born and raised in Vegas. I mean, really, I probably went to about, I want to say 6 middle schools alone.
Mm.
3 high schools. And so, like, I mean, it's been a journey, and so my faith is so utterly strong. I just don't know what I would do without
Mhm.
it. It almost, that fear, it almost scares me. Like, I would have fallen. I would have fallen, and yeah, I'm just, you're
Thank
awesome.
you.
I talk about faith all the time, and I think I have a hard time with people really connecting on that, um, because they don't really understand, like, the reason, I am here today. And so, yeah, I'm gonna end up crying. So backing it up here, I know that you had a PET scan, at one point, but there was the time when you had a PET scan, but you still had 2 months of that treatment ahead. Um, and so you said that life started coming back in renewed ways. Um, I believe is what you quoted in here. And what shifted inside of you there?
Mm.
Having that 2 months of treatment left. Yeah, what shifted inside
Mm.
there?
Tasting the finish line, you know,
Mm,
tasting the rebirth, the new beginning. It's, things ending but becoming the beginning. My book was coming down the finish line as well,
mhm.
organically, along with that getting out of the hospital and treatment. And it was this curiosity as well of seeing how I'm going to bounce back. The excitement of no longer having medication in my body that was just
Yeah,
destroying me.
yeah.
Living and dying.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that moment, I mean, must have changed how, like, you moved through the rest of your treatment. I mean, you're really, like you said, you're on that edge of, like, the book, and, book or not, you're on the edge of your treatment, your diagnosis. And so I mean, yeah, in that moment, you really did move. You moved through change and going, okay, wait, I'm actually going to beat this. Like, wow.
And having the joy and curiosity for whatever's next without
Yeah,
knowing, because your life has been on
yeah,
pause. And it's so change is hard for a lot of people, and change, even for me, when I have a moment going, oh no, there's change. It's how do we spin it? How do we see change instead of, ooh, I don't know what's going to happen, to, ooh, let's take this as an adventure. What is the
yeah.
adventure,
No,
right?
exactly. Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
right. Yes, and so you're so right. And so in that adventure and the mental health and the fear and all of this, and your rambling, I believe 25 and 29 and 34. I love those. And quite frankly, specifically in Rambling 25, you explore fear and what it's trying to tell you. Uh, what did fear become? We might have answered this already. Like, what did fear become for you? Like, you had a realization that maybe fear exists because you love life so
Yes.
deeply. Um, does that still resonate with you?
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm trying to
Totally,
ask.
that's a
Yeah.
great one to bring up. It's again turning fear on its head. So where is this fear coming from? What is it trying to show me? And for me, it was this thing that I just love life so much, and I need more life, and I don't know what it's revealing as, but what is fear showing you? That, oh, I'm afraid I'm not going to have more life or more time to live my life. That you love life so much. So it's spinning it around, into its loving parts. So that's what fear showed me
Yeah.
in that moment. That I just I want so much. So what is the positive
Yeah.
spin? And again, without being, toxic positivity. Sometimes, things are what they are, but a lot of it is our mindset. What is it showing? That I'm hungry for life, that I want more, and I'm afraid I'm not going to get more, or I'm going to not have more time. So it's just spinning it on a positive place. And so fear can become your friend if you let it,
Yeah. If
if
you
you
let
let
it,
it.
yeah. Which is hard if you let
Yes.
it. No, and you're right. Yes, if you let it, because fear can take over. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I think stress is like a real illness and fear, and that is a real something I think that is becoming more evolved now in today's world and more known. Thank God for that. You know, 10, 20 years ago, it wasn't. And so just thank you for that, by the way.
Go.
And you're right. It's fear head on. It's, of course, guys, easier said than done. But in your rambling 34, you talk about stopping the internal battle, of questioning yourself, whether that was fear, anything, everything that, we've been talking about. What changed there emotionally?
Mm. Oh, it's the understanding that if you just surrender and let go and flow into the unknown, that the known that you will experience will be more beautiful than you've ever imagined. And so
Wow.
we want to control outcomes. We want to know, and that creates a certain sense of suffering. And so I didn't know. It's very daunting to be in this like wheel of cancer treatment, but then all of a sudden my life's going to change again. What's my new routine's going to be like? We need rituals, right? And so it was not.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
not projecting what's going to happen or am I going to find my way. It was just be in the moment and trust that
Mm.
everything's going to unfold and to flow. So
Yes.
cancer really showed me that in a graceful way, open up to more surrender while you're doing the doing. It's this yin and yang. It's this dance that is it's a
Yeah.
practice for life. And we get our sweet moments, and we'll get those challenging moments where we see the old stuff trying to arise, being like, and then it's the practice. And it doesn't matter what age you are, doesn't matter anything. You continue in your prayer, meditation, and your rituals so that you can ride the seas of life, because the seas of life are going to go like this and keep challenging you. And so surrendering. And I don't know if that answers the question, but it really showed me the power
No,
of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, no, and it does. And thank you. And you're right, the season of life and emotionally. So yes, you definitely did answer that. And You also describe being able to see, like you're saying right now, in fear and in life, instead of it being of something that you are consumed by. Um, how did that shift happen? I mean, to go kind of a little bit deeper, in your Rambling 29, you talk about catching yourself before slipping into a fog and returning to your breath. What grounded you in those moments? Yeah, to go a little bit deeper.
My gosh, yeah, it's the slip and fall where you can see, it's dangerous. It's almost like through this experience and even beyond the experience, how are you observing your thoughts? What is the time that you're taking in your day to maintain that healthy mindset? So I could see myself going through the journey when that fog was coming to get me. And it was like I needed to catch it before I slipped and fell entirely. And what that meant for me was going into nature, going into one of my favorite places here in Los Angeles, the Self Realization Fellowship, created by an incredible yogi who brought a yoga and a certain meditation to the West, Paramahansa Yogananda. I think you would love him. He's universal, and he celebrates.
Yeah, I'm
He
gonna check it out.
celebrates it all in one. His field is all love, and I thank God every day for Yogananda's presence in Free Temple, where he's got a temple of leaves, and I know that no matter what, I would go there so that I could avoid the slip and fall, where I could see the mind going into that crevice, and in there sometimes just to sit, just to observe nature, to come into my breath. I had this beautiful fellow sound artist and healer tell me one day in a conversation. She says, "You know that we were born with meditation? It's already inside of us." I said, "Really?" She's like, "You have a heartbeat and you have your breath." So it's as simple as being in wherever you are in the space, and just maybe the hand comes to your chest, feel the beat. Follow that with your mind. Maybe it's just following your breath, classic in and out, or a classic 4-4-4 4 breath. And it's that would help me when I saw that fog coming to get me. And I did not, because once you slip and fall, holy cow, try to get out of that pit.
Yeah, try to get
So it's the
out.
maintenance. How are you mopping the floors, the spiritual holes in you, right? It's by the
I
things
love
you do
that. Yeah.
daily. And so that
Yeah.
was a key thing, breath. Until this day, I go and how is my breath feeling? Can you
Wow.
feel?
Routine, you know what I mean? Routine and within yourself, your breath, your feeling, and wow. I mean, that's important because you're moving through life. You got to make sure yourself and how am I really doing? And am I that calmness, that where's my mind at, reminding yourself every day. And now we're going to really, I'm so happy you said that because we're going to go into your identity and your self return, that breath. And you talk about that in Rambling 27 and 67, 94. In Rambling 27, you say, I am not cancer. And you repeat it, I am not cancer. I'm Sandy. I'm going to say it again. I am not cancer. I am Sandy. Sandy, you were reclaiming your identity. Your breath, that fog attacking it, all of it, that is your self identity. I am not cancer. I'm reclaiming myself. And something that you actively had to fight for over and over and over again. What did it feel like to separate yourself from that, I am not cancer, that diagnosis, to emotionally to yourself? Does that make sense? Like, yeah.
It makes a lot of sense, and it was such a wobble. It was such a shakeup to go from being my life is the hospitals, treatments, to then you're going to get spit out of the cancer machine and have to rebuild. Who am I now out of that? It's really shocking on the psyche to go from that strong identification to now rebuilding your life. Who am I now? Am I needed? That crossed my mind. You know?
Oh, no, you're so needed, Sandy. I'm like, you're needed. I'm like, you got me.
Thank you.
um,
And so
But no,
And it's that coming out of that machine, that different world. And so the reminder that I am not cancer, I am still me. I am Sandy. I am beyond that title. And also, it was also reclaiming that I don't have to be the identity of an illness. Because sometimes some people, no judgment, they get trapped in very much, oh, I am the illness. No, you are beyond all of that. So, how do we pull ourselves out so that we don't stay sick and identified with that title? Titles and words
yeah.
matter. If you say every
I'm like, you're gonna make me
if you
cry.
say every day, "Oh, I'm stupid," or "I'm ugly," or "I'm this," or "I'm that," guess what? You're conditioning your. No, I am beautiful. I am safe. I am strong. I am loved. I am
Yeah.
needed. I
Yep.
am Sandy. I am Katrina. I am empowered. The I ams, without even finishing the sentence, a strong I am is all encompassing to harness who you truly are outside whatever it is that life throws at you. And so now I
Yeah.
look and I go, wow, I went through cancer. That's so weird. I went through that. That's cool. Like but that's not who I am. That's a part of my colors. But I am Sandy. I am beyond all that. So it
Yes,
helps
yes, you are.
to reclaim your identity after you can very, very much become just that, you know?
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. And yeah, you should do coach speaking. You just beautifully said. You're so passionate about it. You feel it. I mean, I'm looking at you and I could feel it in my
Thank
heart,
you.
Sandy. And you're right. I'm gonna walk out of here and be like, I am
Yes.
Katrina. Like I
It's your new
am. And
slogan.
so like,
Courage unfolded. I
yes,
am
there you go.
Katrina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I love it. And so just in those moments, Sandy, I mean, your self, you know, recognition and I wonder, did that feel so and powerful for you? I mean, I just have to ask. I mean, did you expect to ever speak to yourself in the level that you are of the pride, during your treatment and all of it? Like, what was that level of pride
Mm.
during all of that? Does that make, am I, yeah, okay, perfect.
I feel very proud, but I always feel very humbled. Every day, I just thank God. I thank universe. I thank the gurus here and past. I thank Yogananda. I just thank life. I thank love as a field. I thank life. I thank love every day. Thank you for holding me. Thank you for loving me, carrying me. So there's a dose of, yes, of who I am. I give myself credit, but I didn't stand alone. It's like they say if you look back, you can look at your ancestors or you can look at
Yeah.
who is around me as my champion, as I champion what it is that I need to champion, which is ultimately love. Love is
Wow.
for me the ultimate thing.
It is. It is. It's as well for me as I think the human nature is we all forgot. We get distracted, by all of these things that life brings us and will continue to bring us. But overall, at the end of it all, I think with cancer, it's unfortunate and it's sad, but it could be a grateful thing at the same time of what is in the end doesn't matter about anything else, but who is right there next to you in that love always comes back to love. Doesn't matter. You can have everything in the world to whether that's if that's money to you, if that's family, if that's I don't know, the best purse, expensive, whatever it is, boats, whatever, all of that. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Love, human connection matters. And we've forgotten that. And I think a beautiful thing about cancer is that reminds us. It does. It really, really reminds us. And it's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. And it's terrible. But it is a really walking reminder. And it can be a beautiful one. I know that's like hard to sit with in the mind a little bit. However, in Rambling 94, you asked, who am I now?
Mm.
What answer did you eventually find that to be?
I found that
I love this one.
that's great. And gosh, in reflection, who am I now? And it was a person that was enough. That I am
I
enough.
love that.
There's no flash, no fluff. I am enough. Cancer showed me that. Sometimes through life or through people or past relationships, you feel like you have to jump through hoops, put that tiara and always be tap dancing, so to speak. When I came out of that cancer wheel, bald, just raw, I
Yeah.
realized that wow, I am enough and screw everything else. I'm going to live my life and I am enough. Take it or leave it. And when you embrace that for yourself, those that matter, situations, opportunities that matter will find the perfect alignment through you because you don't have to dance it up. It's an internal thing. And who am I now? I am loved. I am held. I trust more, and I am enough.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing.
I am enough.
It's refreshing.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I'm like, I am
Yeah.
enough. I'm just gonna say it. I am enough.
I am enough.
Just everyone repeat themselves right now. I
I
am
am
enough.
enough.
You're so healing. Like, it's just so crazy, Sandy. You have a beautiful gift. Use it. Continue to use it. I mean, I need to go to one of your sound healings.
Would love that.
Just yes, I would love to. I feel like I'm gonna walk out of there bawling, but it's totally okay. Speaking of, all of that, the mind and imagination and coping, and you speak about all of it. I mean, Rambling 11 and 28, and in Rambling 11, you turn your pain into pina
Yes, that's one of my favorite ones. Yes. Yes.
and beaches and your imagination. Where did that come from?
Oh my God.
We're gonna go ahead and
Oh my God.
leave it at that because I think that's a good one. And I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna kind of wrap this up a little bit because I'm gonna keep talking. Where did that pina colada and the beaches and where did that kind of imagination
And I
come
have
from?
it here. I'll read it very quickly, the short beginning. And it's pina colada. It just, I can't, I wish I could answer that. The whole book is really just a divine inspiration of stuff flowing through me.
It is.
And one night I was like, pina colada. So it's pina colada. What is the purpose of pain? I've tried to even scramble up the word to see if I could find something for it, like pina, which made me think of pina colada and beaches, sunny days, and endless ways to find something to get me out of my physical pain and into the non-physical beach of my mind. Pina colada worked for a moment, but the question still remains. Pain's purpose, teacher of pain, tell me. It was one of my favorites. I was just thinking, I don't know, it was just like pain, what's the purpose? Then scrambling words and we gotta, what can I tell you?
They're amazing. I wanted to hear you. I just wanted to hear that. I did. We're gonna kind of end it
Yes.
here. They're giving me signals.
Yes.
They're giving me
You
signals
got it,
because
guys.
I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, oh shoot, I could talk
I
for hours.
know.
I really want to end it on two things. I'm going to end it with reading a passage
Yes.
from your book. It really resonated with me. I want to do this together though. I'm going to go ahead. It's Rambling 99. Yes, you spoke about it earlier a little bit. That's why I was like, in the end, we're going to get there. Every day we're dying. I'm going to go ahead and read page 190. I want you to end it on read 191 for me. And then end it with, what does courage mean to you now? And that's what we're gonna, end this episode with. And so, guys, Rambling 99, every day we're dying. I'm gonna go ahead and read. So, every day we're dying and every day we're living. So, what are you going to do about that? Whether we have no obvious problem at all or we have cancer in the moment in our fall, we are dying every day. The idea that life goes on forever and ever in the illusion. And when we live with this knowing,
Viscerally?
I
Yeah, you got it.
There we go. Okay. Inside, and then we notice how beautiful the dying is inside the living. Every day we're dying, every day we're living, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be in this constant flow of death and rebirth. Illness, tough times, hardships can give you all of that. It deepens your breath. It gives you back what you were believing in this ongoing eternity of non-thinking. So think, see, feel the reality of your existence and the flowing of your heart beat in it. Be grateful for the experience.
This cancer trip, this reminder that we are not above it, but simply a part of it, of all the births and collapses, all of it here in space, in the universe. A series of being and not being in the race to embrace more of who we are in this temporal fleeting time, in this beautiful space of life, space of breath. What is wrong now? Nothing. We sleep, we wake up, we breathe, we see, we eat, we love, we notice, we pass the time. We repeat this. Isn't it sweet to see the simplicity of all that is being? And why can't we simply have more of it? Simply. As I await the news of seeing if this cancer is officially gone, and I wait about a month for the PET scan reveal, I think about what I feel. I think about being here. I think that here I am. I can do this thing called life. Bring it. We're stronger than we think. And these are just the tests and the little wink that yes, you are, and yes, you can be always stronger.
Oh,
And I'm going to answer your question,
I-
and I'm going to say how lovely to have you read my words. That was so magical. And what is courage to me? I love that question, that way to end. Courage to me is having the courage to wake up and greet the day, not knowing and maybe knowing a little bit, and living full-heartedly. Have the courage to live, to love deeply. Have the courage to just simply do that and let it reveal itself.
Oh, thank you for that. I feel honored that I got to read your book to you, a little bit of your words. The fact that I get to sit there in my life and say I read an author to, their words is really cool. So thank you so much, Sandy, for being on Courage today, Unfolded. And you are that courage, like you're saying, to wake up every day, to get on this podcast. You brought the courage and you unfolded it today. You are my slogan. You chose truth before that fear, decided to take over. Thank you so much for writing this. You are loved. You are love. You are so beautiful. And you are going to remind me every day to love myself. You're another walking reminder, Sandy. And so I just thank you. I'm going to keep repeating it. I mean, just sweet dreams. And, your book, it's amazing. And I can't wait to share it with everyone. And thank you for coming on the show and all of it. Your power, Sandy. You really are.
Thank you, Katrina. We were aligned in the universe for a reason.
We were.
It's such a joy. Thank you for your beautiful preparation, inspiration, and everything that you brought up. You are so beautiful outside, inside, and I can't wait to watch you grow in this life, in this creation. And I'm sending you so much love. Thank you to you and your team.